Day, and we're not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be at work. I had to come home. Really? Yeah, long story. I'm gonna explain. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger god, first child of God, reincarnated. I am the Lilith. In order to keep up with me, you have to see what I post on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. What's going on? I'm going to show you. Give me a second. I think it's in the 30s. There it is, 31. What's happening? This. It's always fucking happening. I woke up sick as fuck this morning. Really? Yeah. But it wasn't an option. I can't just sit here. I can't. I have to go to work. So I pushed myself to work, and I got to work, and I was sick as fuck. I had to go to the bathroom. Then after that, I was just holding my stomach the whole fucking time as I was walking around. It took me way longer than it ever does. Not really, I guess. I just felt like it was taking me forever to fill up the first cart. And then my kids wake up. I called to make sure that the kids are waking up. Both of them are sick as fuck, bro. They're both telling me that they're sick as fuck. And I'm like, fuck, I'm sick too. And I didn't call in because, you know, it's not me. But now I got the kids, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I talked to my lead, and I'm like, bro, I gotta go. I already didn't, feel well, but now my kids are sick. I gotta go. And he's like, I totally understand. If you could figure it out and everything, you can set everything up. We'd like to have you come back if you can. It's like, really? It's like, yeah. I mean, you only worked, a couple hours. You can come back and pull your 6 hours whenever you want, whenever you can get back here. Would be totally cool with that. I was like, seriously? He said, yeah. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Nobody does that type of shit unless you have real job security. They don't let you. If you take a loss, you take a loss, bro. But I had overheard them talking about somebody had called out, and they only had 2 of us to handle ship. Everybody else was doing in-store pickups. And so they were already short-staffed, and now they've only got 1 person to do that. How many were on there? On mine, there was like 26 fucking carts that needed to be pulled. So that's a lot of work. So I know that's why they offered me, but that was pretty awesome. Nevertheless, what's going on? I went through you would have had to catch last night's video. I went through a huge shift. I went through a huge evolution, a huge growth. And when that happens, this happens. I try to explain this part as the most intense part about the healing journey. Really? Yeah, and then as soon as I came home, I fucking started a moon cycle, bro. Thank God that didn't happen at work. I wouldn't have been prepared for that. I'd had to come home anyways. Really? God, just top it off. It's a bit early for that. I'm not due for a moon cycle right this moment. But what is it? It's a purge. It's a purge. All the negative energy that's inside of you is coming out. Really? Yeah. And when you break a generational curse, it affects your children. I've seen this happen multiple times. I know when it's spiritual because it affects more than just me. Really? It'll knock them down. That's confirmation to the movement. They were fine. We were all fine last night. But that's not what happened. After, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's like after you make a shift. How does it happen in the kids? Well, they witness it. But then that part of me that was broken, that's inside of them, as I heal it, it heals inside of them too. Really? I've seen this happen for years. It doesn't always happen. Not all of my healing hits them, but when the big ones come, it hits them. It knocks them down. They'll be asleep for like a whole day and shit. They'll be all fucked up. So that's what's happening. So I'm going to read that to you, and then we'll kind of go from there. This is from my Lightworkers Oracle. These ones, I typically pull them out on a Sunday for anybody new. Where'd I go to? Soul Child. It's a terrible thing. Where's it at right now? It's in my solar plexus. It's all in my guts. That's where it was, my stomach. I was holding my stomach, not my lower stomach, but my upper stomach. And then, of course, as soon as, it pushes from there, now I'm in the sacral and down in the root. It's gone all the way through my system. Really? as I was walking around all fucking sick and I'm all fucked up in the head and I don't feel right, I'm all out of my energy, I'm like, God, I fucking hate you, bro. Every time you come into my fucking life. But at the same time, it's like, man, I just had to go through this healing. There's always terrible fucking effects after the fact. All right, what is it? Your body changes. The body changes as light enters. Alchemy is catalyzed, and transformation happens. Sometimes the appearance of the body changes. I already told you that. I've been like, that's what both of my kids, my daughter said too. I've been losing unbelievable amounts of weight since I started doing this. There will be change in how the body feels, responds, acts, and creates. And that's how it was today. I wasn't myself. I couldn't get on my own track at all. I just wasn't myself. I still am not. Radiance increases. Lightness of the being increases. If you have clairvoyant visions, you will see increase in light as though the person is actually lit up from within. And they are. Spiritual abilities become grounded in the body, and the person can channel healing energy just as natural as they would set the dinner table. I'm seeing what happened the other day. What happened? This girl, we were all kind of in a funk the other day. This was Sunday. The girl that ended up quitting, that's leaving on Thursday, she's like, I'm just not feeling so good. And I was like, here. And I was like, let me give you some of my energy because I'm done for the day. And I was like, if you have weird thoughts or anything, just remember it was me. Next thing you know, she comes in and she's like, she's leaving and moving to Texas. Does she know that that had anything to do with me? No. I inspired her. The spirit was in her. She just needed the push. The spirit becomes a living reality in the body, and the material world is experienced as an extension of the light. I tried to explain that yesterday as you pull your higher self into your consciousness. It's almost sad because then you're stuck as a soul in the body. It was better just to watch from the outside. But now you're stuck on the inside. The alchemy is an empowering gift of love. Symptoms of this process can be challenging. They may include headaches and aches and pains, flu-like symptoms, inexplicitly and nearly overwhelming fatigue that lasts for days and then suddenly vanishes, along with surges of new energy. The amount of energy I had yesterday was unreal. Was it from him? No, I was jamming all day. In essence, he usually takes away from my energy. He didn't give me any energy. We may also experience pinging in the ears. That's what happened yesterday. It was the loudest I've ever heard. Fucking Russ. Increased sensitivity to light or sound, hormonal imbalances, hot flashes, excessive sexual energy, rarely, mental obsessions or mood swings, aggression, and unintentional harsh reactions to people. If you experience any of the above and wonder if these are other unusual symptoms could be a direct result of increased spiritual energy affecting your body, the answer is very likely yes. Allow time for physical exercise. Can help release excess energy. That's where it's all built up. Go for a walk. It's like you're restless. You can't rest, but you don't have no energy to do anything. You have to figure out how to purge it out. Especially if you tend to feel mentally congested. That's what I mean, is you can't think straight. You can't focus. Go for a walk to clear your mind. Take some time away from meditation, spiritual studies, or discussions and energy work. Instead, simply be in nature or rest. If you work with colors, then take a break for a short time and work with very soft, subdued lights or colorless light. If you have a tendency to push yourself with spiritual work, learn to take time off on regular occasions. Will help you recover more quickly and suffer less. And that's it. I have to hold the light to push the light, right? So that's why I say sometimes I can't channel. It takes too much. It'll take too much out of my body to channel. I don't have enough to start with. But as I start channeling, it fills me with all kinds of energy. That's where you hear me get hungry. And then I'll get restless. I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I want to do something. I don't want to sit here anymore. That's filled with light. And as you're burning it, you'll hear me say, I just want to eat and sleep. It's energy. It's an unbelievable amount of energy that's traveling through you. It happens, you know what I mean? And that's just it. Yesterday was exhausting. In the sense of it wasn't, but the after effect of having difficult conversations, making difficult decisions. You know, when after your body relaxes, the chaos comes down. The crash is hard. You're real high strung when you're going through high vibrational situations. But then, you know, it's a huge low. I'm seeing Michaela. Michaela had the Bieber fever, right? She loved Justin Bieber. And after work, I took her to go meet Justin Bieber. And for a couple days, she was all fucked up. She's like, I don't know how to react anymore. It's like such a high of being, something so bad and being around it. Like, she was just in awe after hanging out with him. She couldn't go back to a normal life after that. What is normal after spending time with your idol? Right? And she had a huge crash. It's like life didn't have as much meaning after those few moments. Something like that. That's what this is. It's the best way to describe it. Really serious highs with serious lows. And it's just the light, the fluctuation of the light. The light pushes the darkness to the surface. It's just how it works. So, anytime you get real joyful, you better expect there's going to be a little bit of a come down off of this. You're going to be a little edgy off of this. And it's just too much endorphins. Really? Yeah, just kind of helping you out. Let's see. Finally, working with cool energy, not cold, but refreshing as ways to discharge excess heat. That's another thing, too. You're working with fire. You can feel it inside. And that's it. Like today, I wore a lighter jacket. I typically wear a beanie that matches, and I couldn't do that. I had to pull my hair up. I was too hot. I was sweating. I was, like, uncomfortable. You can do this by sitting in shade or in a room that feels cool and relaxing, or even by cooling your hands before an air conditioner and a fan and using your fingertips to transfer cool and healing energy by light, touching your chest, back, neck, the back of your head, ears, and forehead. So this is like one of those times when you keep it real cold, but you stay under a blanket. Really? Yeah, it's a terrible feeling, dude. It's like, did you get COVID? It almost looks like that. It looks like the flu. It's a terrible thing. Again, I've done this enough that I could push through, but I wasn't. I was struggling to push through that first hour. And then when I heard they were struggling, I was like, oh, this is bigger than me. Really? And it just goes to show, like, you're afraid to take care of yourself and put yourself first because you don't know the effect it will have on your finances, your job, your family, whatever, right? So it's like, I can't take today off no matter what I feel like. But then when it's my kids, it's a different situation. I've got to go home and I got to tend to my kids, bro. I can't just leave them there like that. Right? They come first. And when you do that, it's like, I didn't do this because I didn't know what the consequence is because of my job. I didn't want to take a risk in my job. But halfway through it, it's like, I'm not trying to prove to this job that I'm worth keeping. I'm just trying to keep the job for a minute. Prove anything to this job. And that's what I realized as I was dragging my tummy. I was like, you don't have to be here. You're just trying to do the right thing. It means I'm trying to do the right thing by being at work. And it changed. And even though it changed, and that's where it says, it's like some of your guys' companies, and that goes back to Walmart and shit like that. Nah, bro, if you leave, this affects your attendance. This affects your attendance. Really? Yeah. That 90-day probation and a new job, bro, you have to be kind of perfect if you want to keep that job. It depends on what kind of jobs you're applying for, but that's the severity of it. And right now, it's like almost a part of me wants to work. I just work with integrity anyways. And that's what it is if it was I think that boy quit, or they fired him. I haven't seen him. Yeah, there's this kid. He started before me, and I was like, they're on you, bro. They're watching you. I felt it because she kept asking him, are you picking? What are you doing? I was like, dude, they're watching you. I think he was booty whacking. I don't know, but I realized I haven't seen him for quite a few days since last week. A bunch of them, like I said, something was up yesterday. They had all the leads, doing fulfillment. They asked all of them. They got on the line. We need everyone to fill at least one cart. And then at the end of the shift, thank you for everyone that came in and helped fulfillment. So they got screwed. Somebody, and that's usually what I get into these jobs. Like, it's an opportunity for me to shine because they're in a dark place, and here comes a light. A hard worker that's willing to pick up the slack and, fast learner, and that, is all of that. And it was really cool. And that's where, the lead from yesterday is like, yeah, come back. And that's where HR was there. It's like, yeah, most definitely, dude. Just if you can work this out, please, we'd love to have you. That's good work. That's not desperation. That's, you know what I mean? Because in essence, I don't know. But that was the point, is like, I wasn't going to do this for myself. Of course, here comes the moon cycle. Son of a bitch. What are you going to do? I'm literally going to go and take an hour just like my kids, and I'm going to rest this off because I need the rest. And then I'm going to jam myself with unbelievable amounts of coffee, and I'm going to go finish 6 hours of work. Then what are you going to do? I'm going to come home and do laundry, do all the shit I didn't do. It's Tuesday. It's a Mars day. I can take action. I just can't do what I always do. And that's where you really, life doesn't allow room to life. The structures of life. But then there is this, you wouldn't expect this with a new job that would be so cool about it. But I get a lot of these people that are really cool because of who I am. They're willing to bend the rules for who I am and what I offer. And that's where it goes back to being a good worker, is because sometimes that's enough. Really, that's all it takes. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. And I said it to him, I didn't feel well, but I wasn't going to take today off. But when my kids, then it was serious, it's like priorities. And just the ability. I would have just took the whole day off if he wouldn't have said, you have the ability to come back. Well, thank you, because then I don't have to walk around with the guilt and shame of losing today. I just needed some time to set up my family and I can come back. Other jobs won't let you do that, bro. There's not that kind of security. And that's God. I don't think that Target is the best place that'll let anybody get away with some shit like that. I just want to point out, this is God. God will come in and make things all right for you. And it all comes down to self-care. How did I get here? All God told me to do is worry about myself, and He'll take care of the outside world for me. And that's hard because I've never had anyone take care of me. So to have an invisible being come in and be very visible and take care of all of my life, first off, deem me as fucking crazy. I don't understand how people could. It was those that lacked faith, because true believers of God were anticipating to see what God would do. But those that never knew God didn't think God would come to my rescue. And that was the story. But it's like, that's what that's what He does. He tells you what to do and you do it, and He'll take care of the rest. So I just want to point that out. I'm grateful to God, but at the same time, what's happening? Breaking curses, bro. There's a part of me that would have sacrificed and settled for minimal. And I faced that part yesterday, and I said, we're not going to do that anymore. So that part of me that sacrifices and settles for less than what I deserve, that lives within my children, is being purged too, so that they don't grow up and do what I did. They're not going to grow up and settle for less. They're not going to sacrifice themselves for other people. You know what I mean? That's what is going on right now. I learned that. I learned self-worth. And that's what we worked on yesterday. And again, the only thing good that comes out of these guys is my healing. With that being said, I don't feel so well. I never said it. I told you I didn't. So I wanted to share that story with you. God supports you in your healing. And those that don't, then you shouldn't have them in your life. If you need a sick day and they don't understand that you're either mentally, emotionally, or physically sick, and that you need a day to recover, or you're not going to be better tomorrow or later, then you're not important to them. Your well-being isn't important. And you don't want to be around people that don't care about your well-being. You don't want to work for a company that doesn't care. You don't want to be around people that don't care how you feel. Really? Your feelings are very important. They determine who you're going to be throughout the day. You know what I mean? So, like, if you see somebody pissed off and you don't care and you're just going to let them be angry and take it out on everybody, that's not helpful. And that's what I mean is, like, as an employee, if you see one of your employees crying, it's up to you to, tell them to, they can't do, obviously something's wrong with them. They need time. If you see somebody totally furious, they need time. If you see somebody throwing up, they need time. And that's where it is everybody pretends like, they don't see the suffering. They don't see the need for this type of shit. And that's, that's being caring about mankind. realistically. You know, most jobs will threaten you and, you know, take disciplinary action and shit. Like, no, you have to, and I don't know what you're going to do, but you better figure it out. You know what I mean? It's like you request a day off and they won't give it, and if you don't show up at work, they're going to threaten to take your job. They didn't care that you needed this day off. It doesn't matter. You don't matter. Their needs and their, you know, and that's where you got to be careful not to work for companies or people like that. Because you're not important. And with that being said, you're replaceable. Let them replace you with someone else that doesn't have value. They don't value you. Your value is the hourly pay that they pay you, and they have no more value for you. If you don't spend that hour doing what they say, you have no value to them. And you could say it on a professional level, but this is on friendships and on everything else. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. Really? Yeah. If he wasn't going to get what he wanted, he wasn't going to give me what I wanted. The only reason it worked last time is because we both wanted the same thing. But I no longer want that. And that's where it's equal. Alignment. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give myself to a company that doesn't give a shit about me. I'm not going to give myself to a man that doesn't give anything to me. I'm not going to give myself to people that don't. And it's not about being conditional love, because you give unconditionally, but in the sense of you don't just keep giving to people that keep taking. Right? And as I see this, I see Russ. There's no amount of love or attention or affection that I can give Russ that's going to make him a better person. My energy goes to waste on him. And that goes for nearly all of my twin flames. Loving them makes me better, not them. If anything, it makes them worse. That's how I look at it. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of it. Healing looks all different types of ways, but you have to look at the real part of what healing is. You know what I mean? A lot of spiritualists want to make it sound all good, and life is good, and God is great, but they don't tell you about the hard times. And it's, you know, that's what Buddha said in our teaching yesterday, and the day before that we talked with the Lumerians about this. There's ups and downs. I'm down right now, but if I rest and I take care of myself, I'll be right back to the top. But if I don't, I'm going to stay down. You have to know when to care for yourself and what kind of care to take care of yourself. Is it physical? Mine is just physical right now. I just need to rest my body. It's not mental. It's not emotional. My mind isn't going crazy. My feelings aren't driving me crazy. It's just my body. It's breaking through my body, and I need to lay down and rest it off. I'll be all right. Sometimes that's all you need. Most of the time, that's all you need is some fucking rest. You didn't get enough rest. I mean, honestly, I didn't go to sleep till late. But that's not how I felt this morning. I wasn't feeling tired. My stomach hurt. It was all in my stomach. It was all in my, you know, in my torso. And it's moving its way through. So that's what I said. I told the kids, they're already back to sleep, bro. They're not even trying. If they were faking it, they'd be eating meals and arguing about the internet and getting loud. No, they don't even have it in them, bro. Really? There's a difference. You can tell when you're a parent, you know, when they just don't want to waste their day at school. They don't want to waste their energy. There's a whole nother thing when they really don't have any. I can see it. And that's what I said, too. I told the kid, I was like, finish it, just keep getting ready, and I'll pray about it. And that's what I did. I gave it 10 minutes before I made a decision. God, what do I do? Do I just leave them at home? They can handle it, and I can thug through this shift? What do I do? I would have never expected they were going to let me come back to work. That I could come home, take care of my family, myself, and come back and be okay. That's all I really needed, too. I don't want to lose today. I just need a little bit of time, dude. I don't feel well. So I took me a freaking Pepto-Bismol. We have chewables. They're so much better than drinking that shit. For real, bro. It's worth the buy. I took me a Pepto-Bismol, and I'm going to take me an Advil for my cramps. I don't have any yet, but I will in the next 2 days. And I'm going to get back to work. But I just want to show you guys, sometimes, bro, you gotta pull the plug, bro. You gotta do what you're scared to do. You gotta walk off work. You gotta walk away from things. Like something, your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health is more important. And it could be your children, too. Really? Yeah. Work isn't everything. Work isn't everything, guys. Be careful of that. Work doesn't make you happy. It might put some money in your pocket, but there's other ways to pay the bills. Really? Yeah. So I just want to share that with you, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Obviously, I'll make a recovery. I know I will. I wouldn't have told them I was coming back if I didn't know I wasn't going to come back, if I knew I wasn't going to be able to do this, but I know I will. I just need to rest my body, and I'll be able to make it. It's only 6 hours. I can do it. And because it's 6 hours, they're going to make me take a half an hour break. Really? They will guarantee. You have to, by law. If you work over 5 hours, you have to have a 30-minute fucking break before that 5-hour shift. Really? Yeah. So realistically, they'll have me work like 3 hours and make me take a break because I already worked an hour. It's legal things. You don't know how the time card works. So with that being said, I'll be fine. And I'm here to take care of them, so they'll be fine. And that's what we got to do. If any of you are going through it, take care of yourself. Don't try to push through something you don't have the energy to do. And then we talked about that. If you don't have your heart, your spirit pushing you, you're just going to break your body. It's the body, it's the light inside that keeps the body going. Not just your Grushin, your fucked up thoughts. I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep... No, it's your heart. We can do this, we can do this, we're gonna be great. It's a difference. There's dread, and then there's excitement and exhilaration that's pushing you. What's pushing you today? Dread or exhilaration? I don't know. I'm pushing myself back to bed for a little while, which I hope I don't fuck up my makeup and have to do all that again. Really? Sometimes I could sleep through it. Sometimes. Hey, I love you guys. I'll catch you guys later this afternoon. But what are we going through? An alchemical mutation. For those of us that have done the work. And it's just, I read this card a lot to warn you. When you do healing, it has an effect on your body. Really? Yeah. If I do a tower on a Friday, dude, I feel like shit on a Saturday. Because of a Sunday, I can feel better about it, but by a Monday, I feel like shit again, too. Really? Yeah. So, even with all of the energy of a Tuesday and a Mars day, I'm still struggling to push. And that's just it. You can only push when the energy allows it. Otherwise, you're just pushing your flesh. Hey, I love you guys. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to take care of my family, and I'll catch up with you later. Later, haters.